You experience non-doership when you experience what you would call being in the zone or the flow state. People report being in the zone, often in sports. People report the flow state, also being in sports, or could be a creative activity, painting or knitting or gardening. Could be really anything. But notice how when you are experiencing being in the zone or being in the flow state, notice how there's no you that's in it. There's just the zone, or there's just the flow. This is experiencing non-doership. This is experiencing no doer. The me that I believe to be is a thought. It's this I thought. Take away the past, take away the future, and who are you? Realize that the past and the future is nothing more than a thought. And the me that I believe to be is made of past and future. It's made of a thought. So this I thought is kind of like the start and the end of an experience. So we can take the experience of gardening. And we see that there's this thought, I'm going to plant some flowers. I am going to plant some flowers. I am going to. So it's this projection into the future. Then the activity is happening. The experience is happening, which is gardening. And there's just the flow. There's just the activity of gardening, the sun shining, the wind blowing, the leaves dancing. Digging the holes, planting the flowers, watering. And then there's this other thought. I did a good job planting. I'm proud of my garden. So there's this projecting of the activity that's happening. I'm going to do this. And then there's this other thought that is really a memory of the experience in which it seems to claim ownership of. So I, the doer, am going to do gardening. And then there's the afterthought that seems to be a memory of the action and then wants credit or claims ownership of that action, which seems to really contain that experience and solidify it. Which really strengthens this I, or this me that I believe to be. It really strengthens the doership, the fact that you're projecting what you are doing or about to do, and then there's the reflecting upon those actions and then claiming credit or ownership. So like I said, it's projecting. It's the future. The future is what you are projecting as a thought. I'm going to do this. And then after, there's the past. Oh, those past actions, I did that. I'm going to do these future actions, and I did those past actions. So it creates this sandwiching effect. But when you're experiencing being in the zone or the flow state, as everyone has, look at that experience. There could be an hour of gardening, and there's no thought that's taking credit for what's happening in the midst of the activity. There's no thought, I'm planting this flower, I am digging this hole, I am doing such a good job planting, look at how good of a gardener I am. That's not happening when you're experiencing the flow state. That's not happening when you're experiencing being in the zone. There's this thought before the activity and there's the thought after. Now, I'm not saying that there's no thoughts that could arise while experiencing the flow. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out these main thoughts, the projecting of the future and the remembering of the past. And when you see it, this is what the me is really made of, for lack of better words, the past and the future. Right? It's like dreams and memories. Take away all of your goals. Take away all of your memories. And who are you? There's this possessiveness that it tries to hijack the experience and then claim, this is my experience. This is my garden. These are my actions. And then it seems to solidify itself, taking credit, and then even more so, receiving credit from others, which then really strengthen this. But when you look at your direct experience of experiencing the flow, there's no projecting, and there's no remembering. Because if you're projecting and you're remembering, well, you're not experiencing the flow. Because the flow is here now. This is the flow, here now. When we're remembering or when we're projecting, there's this feeling that you're lost in the future or you're stuck in the past. But when you're experiencing being in the zone or the flow state, you're just present. You're present to the flow of life. And when you're experiencing the flow of life, you're not experiencing this projecting into the future and this remembering the past. In fact, when you look at your experience of the flow state or being in the zone, notice how it's the thought of claiming ownership of the activity, or it's a new projection. What do I got to do next? I'm done gardening. I did a good job. Now I should start dinner. And then there seems to be planning for that. More projecting. Then there's this feeling of, damn, I'm out of the zone. I'm out of the flow state. There's this feeling that, damn, I'm now in my head. There's worrying, which is always about the future. Or there's this resentment or sadness, which is always about the past. And there could be other feelings, but you'll see that these other feelings are dependent on a past and a future. Anxiety or the fear. You're always anxious about what is going to happen or what could happen, is a better way of saying it. What may happen. You're always afraid of the future. You're never afraid of the past. So when you catch it, you could say, I'm going to go into my office. I'm going to make a couple videos. Here's my plan. Here's my expectation. Here's how I'm going to start trying to control everything. Here's the way that I want it to be. After the video, I did such a good job. It's great. Now what? Then I start planning what's happening next and start trying to control that. Start having expectations about that. When you start catching it, when you start seeing it, witnessing it, then you see that, one, how is that you? How are you only appearing at the start of activities and then appearing at the end of the activities? It's really this thought that then says, I, the doer, I'm going to do these activities. And I, the doer, I've done these activities. I did these activities. But see that during that activity, there is this non-doership. There is this witnessing, or there's this experiencing. There's an experiencing of gardening. There wasn't the experience of a gardener that is doing the actions. And this could be, like I said, in other examples like sports, being in the zone. There'd be the experience of, let's say, surfing, but there's no experience of the surfer. There's no doer. That's why I said it's non-doership. And the experiencing, there's this feeling it's total. It's all-inclusive. And when they're simply just experiencing, without the me that I believe to be as the experiencer, notice what that experience is like when there's just experiencing. There's this happiness, there's a love, there's peace, there's freedom, there's this fulfillment, fullness, completeness, wholeness. But then it's like when the doer shows up at the end, then it's like, damn, where did it feels like it slipped through your fingertips? Like, where's that? Where'd that go? How do I get back there? How do I get back in the zone? But who you think you are as a person can never be in the zone. You have to see that the person is never in the zone. When you're experiencing the zone, there's never a person in the zone. Of course, you're experiencing a body surfing. Of course, you're experiencing a body gardening. But that body is there just like the flowers are there, just like the trees are there, just like the sun is there, just like the sky is there, just like the wind is there, just like the birds chirping are there. There's an experiencing of the totality of the experience. And it feels like when the person comes back, or how you may experience it as, damn it, I left the zone. Damn it, I'm out of the flow state. I'm out of the flow. It's not like this person is going in and out of the flow. When there's the person, there's no flow. When the person is absent, then there's just the flow. It's the person that's blocking the flow. And this is your direct experience when you look at it. When you're watching a sunset, when you're truly experiencing the sunset, you're not experiencing yourself as a person. You're not experiencing problems. If you're experiencing a person, then you're not experiencing that sunset. But notice when you're experiencing a sunset or the mountains or a forest or a baby smiling, looking at you. Notice how you're not experiencing yourself as a person. There's just experiencing. And notice the difference in what that experience is like when there's just experiencing without the experiencer. Notice how when there's just experiencing, there's happiness, there's love, there's peace, there's freedom, there's fulfillment, there's completeness, there's wholeness. It's total. There's no lack. Nothing is needed. It's impersonal. Experiencing is impersonal. But when we believe to be the experiencer, that is personal. And notice when you're just simply experiencing this happiness, this love, this peace, this freedom is actually impersonal. There's no person that's present that's experiencing the happiness, that's experiencing the love, that's experiencing the peace, that's experiencing the freedom. There's only the happiness, there's only the love, there's only the peace, there's only the freedom. But then it's like the person comes back, and then it's like, where's that happiness? I lost it. Or when the person comes back, it's claiming ownership over the activity. I was so happy surfing. I was so happy gardening. No. Because that person, that thought, wasn't present. When happiness was being experienced. Remember, it is that memory. It's claiming ownership. It's claiming ownership for an experience that it was not present for. It shows up after. And this is your direct experience. Look into it. Look into how you could be knitting or gardening or painting or cooking. When cooking's happening, there's no one that's taking ownership for every slice when you're slicing onions or carrots. I'm going to slice this carrot. I slice the carrot. I slice that. I slice. That's not happening. It's more so at the start of the activity, I'm going to make dinner. And it's more so at the end of the activity. I'm so proud of myself for making such a delicious dinner. Hey, who else likes the dinner? Yep, you can thank me for that. I did it. I love when I'm making dinner. I'm so happy when I'm making dinner. It comes after. But where is that I in the midst of making dinner? It's nowhere to be found. The me that I believe to be is actually absent while making dinner. Now, this is if you're truly present while making dinner. If you're making dinner and you're just thinking about the handful of emails that you need to reply to after dinner, then you're not present. If you're eating your food and you're thinking about all the work that you need to do later after dinner, then you're not present to the experience. So again, it's this projecting that I thought is going to be experienced while eating dinner, thinking about what you need to do later, because it's there, it's present. The I thought is present because it's projecting the next experience or the next activity. What's the next thing I need to do? And you see it just continually projects, but it's never experiencing what is. It's never experiencing this. It can't. The person truly can't experience this. It's only this that can experience this. And when you start seeing, then you start seeing how this person is coming and going. It's flip-flopping. It's flickering. And you start noticing that it's actually absent a lot. You notice that when this person is absent, well, there's this happiness that is present. Now, in reality, the happiness is always present. And when you start seeing how the person is not always present, then you see that the person appears to be blocking the happiness or obscuring it. It's only happiness that can enjoy happiness. There's no person that's ever enjoyed happiness. Happiness experiences happiness. No person experiences happiness. And it's just simply looking into your direct experience for this to become obvious. It's something that you already know. It's something that you already have this feeling like, yeah, when I'm walking the dog through the forest, it's like, what do people say? Like, I just need to go for a walk to clear my mind. Yeah, exactly. Because you're not experiencing the person. It's like the person is this cloud that appears to be obscuring the sun, which is happiness. But I'm saying the sun is always shining. Happiness is always present. So these activities that you experience when you're saying that I'm in the zone or I'm in the flow state, see that the mind is clear. There's little to no thoughts. That what you're experiencing is experiencing itself. You go so into the experience. You're so involved in the experience that then you just find experiencing. And experiencing is all-inclusive. It doesn't exclude anything. See that even right now, there is experiencing. It's always on. You are experiencing this video. You can't turn it off. Well, you can turn off the video, but you can't turn off experiencing. And to go so deep into this experience, be fully present with this experience. Then what you experience is experiencing. Because that's what this experience is made of. What is this experience of watching the video made of other than experiencing? Have you experienced anything other than experiencing? You are that. Experiencing itself. And what is the experience of experiencing? What is that like? You start tasting your true nature. You start tasting what is always present, what is ever present, what is here before the thoughts and feelings and the concepts and the everything else gets put on top of it. So simply just go to your direct experience. Don't go to the concept of the flow state or being in the zone. Don't go to your memory of it. Go to the direct experience of it. Explore your experience. That's how you can explore your experience deeper. That's how these insights start becoming self-evident in your experience. And you already know this because you're already experiencing. I'm simply just pointing out something that you have already experienced. I'm just saying, notice that, notice this. You've already experienced it. Nothing that I'm pointing to is something new. That's why you just simply realize it. Oh, yeah, of course. So hopefully this helps. I'll see you in the next one.